Now we move to the next section. So I would like to welcome Rolandas from it.com. Hello. Welcome. The stage is yours. Yeah. So the topic now we are going to discuss is actually another topic. It's about domain names, and domain names are really important because, as said, so everything starts with a domain name. It's like it's like an address. It's like a brand. It's and these domain names, it's actually business activity itself, and there is a huge system behind it to manage them. And Rolandas today will share some of his experience about the topic. So
I will try to explain quite simply in simple words. I think. Yeah. Before I start, I would like to ask: does anyone own any domains for your own self or for the company? Okay. Yeah. But did anyone thought about having their own extension, domain extension, is like a .com, .org, .net, or anything else? Okay, right. So TLD, it is the end of the domain after the dot. I think what is to the right, basically. So, and there are a few different TLDs. Okay. There are many different TLDs, and the world exists around 1,500 TLDs, but we know mostly around 20 of different ones. Yeah. There are country codes. All the domains with and where are two letters, there always will be country code. Even .io, many people think, okay, that is input output, but that is actually Indian Ocean. It stands for Indian Ocean. Or .cv, it stands for the Cape Verde, and so on. And some countries, they really, or islands, they really like to market them and sell, not just as that island, but as a actual business. Or even .ai, also it is island somewhere. Yeah. And it is very, very big thing now. So the domains as a business, basically, I'm Roland, and I'm business development manager for it.com. And what we do, we help for the businesses like yours to get an extension, and we help to manage those extensions. Have you ever thought about having your own brand, like your brand? And it sounds quite powerful when you think, okay, you can, as people will trust your brand more, as you can have shop.yourbrand, support.yourbrand, instead of having .net or something else. Yeah. But there is another approach as well. You can have, you can sell it on the market, your brand, or some different abbreviation which could be quite trendy. Yeah. And all those TLDs are regulated by an organization called ICANN, and they're a global organization. So to be able to apply for it, there are many requirements, and the technical and the legal requirements to meet to be able to get on board, basically. So, but you don't need to be technical giant to be able to get this extension. There are companies which are helping to go through the applications and getting on board, basically. So, as you see on this slide, sorry. Well, if you ask if the domain owning own extension, is it profitable business? Okay, imagine if you have in the portfolio around 25,000 domains and you're selling them for $20, and each year those companies, they have to renew those domains. It brings $500,000, yeah, which sounds good. All what you do, you're providing the names and you're selling them through the shops like a GoDaddy, Namecheap, and so on. And there are many shops around the world. So this is ICANN, and you can see on the website more information about the new GTLD, which will be happening in 2026 in April. And if someone is interested, so it needs to act quite early, as it requires some time for the preparation. And we as a company, we can help for the company to build a strategy for the if they have idea about some extension, we can prepare all those legal documents which will be compatible with the ICANN regulations, basically. As you see, the process can be quite complicated if you are new in this business. Yeah. So it requires planning and the technical support. We also supply. We're a RSP provider. What is RSP? Registry service provider. So we have our own backend, which manages communication between the registry and registrars, and we can get integrated through EPP systems with the big companies who own their own backends, not just only through the double HMCS services or hospital. So actually there are around, I think, around 40 companies who provide RSP services. And as new GTLD round will be happening next year, they will be quite busy. And there will be many players, and they can be quite booked. So it's worth to think quite early. So this is a bit of information, what you can expect, just an overall idea, and how much the application costs from the ICANN, and what you can expect to pay, basically. Yeah, as you see, ICANN requires a fee like $232,000. Probably now is a bit more, as I know that they've been changing the rules, and every time it goes higher and higher. But this is probably the price from the last time when it was the previous round, which was, I don't know, 5 or 7 years ago. So it doesn't happen every year. So yeah, and the annual fee, as you see, for the ICANN is $25,000, and then for the company which manages backend for that extension is around $10,000. Yeah. And also, you need to think about I would say, probably the most important thing that is about MDF, about marketing development funds, which is not written here, that many those registrars, shops where you can buy those domain names like GoDaddy, Namecheap, or something, you got to pay them for the MDF, management development funds, that your domain extension would be at the top in the search results, because there are hundreds of them. And I don't know, when you look, for example, in the Google search and for something, how often do you go to the second page, for example? I don't know even if it exists. Yeah, so it's similar story. So those shops, they're making a lot of money from positioning the extensions. Yeah, what next would happen? I think now is within 12 weeks time, the ICANN will start opening all this process for the new GTLDs. And let's say if there will be the players who think about applying for similar extension like yours, you have an idea, yeah? So in that case, there will be auction in the organized by ICANN, yeah. But if not, so you're lucky, yeah, to get a nice extension. So thank you. Any questions, maybe?
So correct me if I'm wrong, so it means that a private company can decide for other businesses what to do with their business? It's super weird for me. Can you explain how ICANN just... Because you were mentioning it a lot. Obviously, it interferes with your business or it helps your business. Both
they
ways.
regulate TLDs, all those .coms, .nets, all those extensions. They're regulated by ICANN. Yeah, and if we're talking about country codes, CCTLDs, country code top-level domains, they're regulated by different authorities.
Yeah, but shouldn't this be decided by the country, for example?
But that's how it is today, and there are many organizations in the world which are regulating.
So what if me and you start ICANN 2 and talk directly to the countries? Is there a way for us to kind of big competition to them? Is there any competition to them?
It's like saying, okay, let's create our own currency instead of using the dollar as a reserve currency today. It is possible, but it will require a lot of time, and infrastructure.
Okay. Thank you. It was just, I'm just creating scenarios of why ICANN is like the government of domains. Why not someone else? Those my thoughts. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, Philippe. Thank you.
Just an answer and the question. So firstly, I was talking to ICANN because I just technically was born in Russia and asked, can Russia be disconnected from ICANN? They said there are in the government, they have in the ICANN, I don't know, C-level, I don't know how it's called, there are 12 or something, or 20 people who decide, and they're really in different continents. So technically, to disconnect country from the ICANN, it technically should be everybody agree, so it's quite independent mechanism. As they said like this. So technically, because I was very, very close with Russia, 10 years ago, they had a backup plan if they disconnect from ICANN. And they guarantee that all big countries like China, like Russia, I think should be Germany as well, or something like this. This country have absolutely, my opinion, 100% backup plan. If they disconnect from ICANN, so their local economy can run. So it's first question. Second one, if the response, how to be competitive with ICANN, Web 3.0 is, by the way, a technology. Web 3.0 just technically it's analog like ICANN, but of course there are also lots of big questions about this. But do somebody use this Web 3 domains? So this is the answer. So they become popular, and of course this is standard. And there's a question for you, you call it RSP, yeah?
RSP,
yep.
Registered Service Provider. Yeah.
As it was your potential customer, because we're also thinking to moving .site Pro as TLD. It's not forbidden.
So it would be subdomain .site.
.site Pro. By the way, in our own products, .site Pro is most selling subdomain, most selling domain. So we sell more .site.pro than more .coms and .site Pro is, and it was your potential customer. And the question is what is your benefits compatible to other 40 RSPs? Maybe what is your main benefits compatible to others?
The problem about subdomains, what we faced is that many registers don't really want to deal with subdomains. So you need to prove it by cooperating with the ICANN at the end of the day, and it requires.
I'm just talking avoiding ICANN. So if we go with subdomain like co.uk, co.uk is also subdomain because original is UK. Co.uk is private company.
.uk,
yeah. So
subdomain, yeah.
So I can choose you. I can use Centralnik or others, and just maybe what is your main benefits?
.co.uk is not the best example as .co.uk is classed as a CCTLD, country code TLD, even if it technically looks like a subdomain. So, and in terms, if we're talking about subdomains, you don't need to be ICANN regulated. Yeah.
But why should I also take a deal from Centralnik and also take deal from you? But just what is your benefits?
Okay. We have technical background as well, and we can support all the TLDs. Plus, we have experience, and I think price-wise we're more competitive.
And just opinion maybe to somebody to understand what is usually price compatible to, let's say, Centralnik is 1 to 2. I enable that you just unable to expose everything, to expand everything, but it just significant changes, or it's
it is significant changes. But if you like to discuss, we can sign NDA and and speak about that.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Excellent presentation.